Story time while I'm driving. So, like most people, I've done a little side hustle here and there, when I have free time. And I'm not exactly the most social person, but I like doing things where you get to talk to people and hear their experiences in life and hear their stories. Or, if they just got to get something off their chest and tell somebody. I guess I've got that kind of a face. People just tell me things. I don't have to ask. So one of these side hustles that I did was rideshare. I had a fairly nice used luxury vehicle that I would never buy new because they're just way too expensive and they lose so much value. But I got a really nice one used. Nice black SUV. Didn't have too many miles on it when I bought it. It got really good mileage, and it was just sitting in the driveway when I wasn't in the truck that I'm in now. So I decided to, as a social experiment almost, I signed up to do rideshare. And with a vehicle like this, you get some pretty good rides because people in rideshare, you can put what kind of vehicle you want. You can say, I would like to have a luxury type vehicle. I want to like to have a larger vehicle. Some people request an SUV because it's just easier to get in and out of. And if they have something they want to haul, like, golf clubs or bags, something larger with them, they can. I mean, I've taken people that were kicked out of their house and had everything they owned with them. Like, suitcases and laundry baskets and electronics, just to drop them off at somebody else's house. But most of the time, it's just people going from point A to point B. Sometimes it's work. Sometimes it's because they need to get to the store or from the store or something like that. Some of these ride shares are multiple points where you can pick somebody up and it's got multiple stops. And so they'll stop one place and you have to wait for them for 15 minutes. You get paid to wait. Not much, but you get paid. And then they go do whatever they're going to do, and then they come back, and you either take them to the next stop or you take them back where you started. That was the case this one day. Nice sunny day. It was close to autumn, kind of like now. I'm out driving around outside of the biggest town near us, doing a couple rideshare stops here and there, nothing special. And I get a ride pickup to go into a neighborhood just outside of town. It wasn't a gated community, but it was a pretty nice neighborhood. And I roll up in front of this house. It's a single story, but it's a very well kept house, very well manicured yard. And the app notifies the person that you're there. So the door opens up, and out comes this woman. She's like all of 5'2", dressed to the nines, mid-height heels, face is made up, hair's done, long nails. You could see them when she came out. So I get out of the vehicle to open the door for her, to let her in, which I do for anybody. It's not just somebody that looks like they're made up for the day. I mean, I open the door for people. So she gets in, she says, verifies that I'm her ride, and because there's a code you have to give. And all that was done, the niceties are done, and she's fairly quiet, and I just verified where she has to go, and it was to one of those higher end stores that target women that are very particular about the kind of makeup they have and the kind of jewelry they wear. It was Sephora or something else. I can't remember exactly, but it was one of those kind of stores. And then she just sits back there and she's playing on her phone. And aside from saying niceties to people, I'm not one of these chatty Cathys who just talks and talks and talks to somebody who doesn't want to talk. So after the greeting and everything, if I get the sense that this person doesn't want to talk, then aside from verifying where we are when we get there, but I gotta fix this road, I don't really force the conversation. So that's the kind of ride it was. It took about 30 minutes to get from where she was to this downtown location where the specialty store was. We get to the store. She verifies that I'm going to wait for her because that's the kind of ride it was. It was a multiple stop ride. So I said, yes, they allow us 15 minutes. If it's going to be longer than that, you're going to have to do it in the app so that they keep me here. Because if as a rideshare driver, if you're there longer than 15 minutes without an explanation, they start pinging you, asking you if you're okay and is everything okay, or is the ride okay, all that. So she agreed. She goes in the store. I'm playing on my phone. I'm seeing what kind of other opportunities there might be after I drop this person off, because there are busy times a day where you have the potential to get a lot more rides. And again, I wasn't exactly doing this for the money, because it's not a lot of money. It was just something to pay for my time when I didn't have something else to do, and it just paid for maintenance on the vehicle anyway, which is expensive on a luxury vehicle. You know, it's expensive. Anything German, just add on 30% to the cost of whatever it is. I digress. So I'm sitting there playing on my phone, and out she comes, holding a little bag, looked like it had some weight to it, bouncing along, happier than what she was when she went in. And she gets in the car, and I guess this feel-good moment was all she needed to just start talking. This woman proceeded to tell me about the house that I picked her up from was hers and her ex-husband's. She got the house in a divorce, but she didn't get the car, which is why she doesn't have a car right now. So she just pays for rideshare to do the things she needs to do, because it's no big deal. She said she doesn't have to work, so she doesn't really have to get back and forth to work to do anything. And I said, oh, that's good. You know, good for you. I didn't ask her any details about why she's not working. That's her business. If she doesn't have to work, that's great. She proceeds to tell me why she had to go back to the store, because it was the only store around that had a particular type of makeup, and the ones that were closer to her didn't have it. And if she didn't go get it right then, they had held it for her and they were going to just put it back on the shelf. So she had to get there. She proceeded to tell me how she had been trying to get a ride to that store from where she was for hours before I took the ride, because nobody would accept it. It wasn't really that far, so I don't know. I don't know why nobody would. So for all I know, she canceled the request and she just settled for who would take the ride, and so she settled for a luxury vehicle, and that's how she got me. So she's talking about, you know, everything from the weather to what's popular on TV, and I hear her crinkling around in her little bag that she brought back out. Now, I couldn't see exactly what she was doing, because she didn't sit in the seat in the back of the passenger side. She sat behind me, behind the driver's seat. So I could see the top of her head, and I could see that she was messing around in the back, because I could see her elbow come out, and I could see her messing around up towards her face with her hands, but I couldn't see her head, because although I have a dash cam, I can't see like this blind spot directly behind me and to the left. So she's messing around. She continues to talk at length, you know, and I'm wondering how good this makeup is, because this woman is talking this much, and she hadn't said hardly 2 words the whole ride there. So I'm thinking, okay, fine. She's a happy woman. I get back to her house. I roll up. I thank her for choosing me for her ride. She thanks me for the ride. She grabs her little bag. She looks around on the seat. I always say, is there anything that you forgot back there? Do you have your phone? Do you have everything you came with? She says yes. She gets out of the vehicle, and I check the time, and I decide not to take any more rides that night, because it would have kept me out for at least another hour, hour and a half, and I was already probably 45 minutes from home. So I decided I was going to clock out and not take any more rides. So I get back to home, and the sun is still up. So it's like 7:30. And I always do a sweep in the back of my vehicle to make sure that nobody did leave anything back there, like trash, or, you know, maybe somebody said they remembered their phone and they didn't. So I scan around the back seat and the floor, and I take out the mats like I always do, and I shake them off. Put the mats back in, I scan around again, and just as I'm backing out of the passenger back door to close the door, out of the corner of my eye, I catch something that I see stuck to the post behind me. And I'm like, what is that? And it was just starting to get like the twilight at dusk before the sun goes down. And so I closed the passenger side back door, and I come around the back, and I open the driver's side back door. And when I open the door, where I can see it clearly, there are two fake eyelashes, complete fake eyelashes, in the exact position that the eyeballs would be stuck on the post in my back seat. So what she was doing back there is getting rid of the eyelashes she had on and probably putting on the ones that she just bought and figured she'd just stick them to the side of my car. Who does that? I mean, they were stuck on perfectly. Like, you could have drawn eyes under the eyelashes and made it look like a face. They were perfect sticking on that. But who does that? I mean, and it's kind of gross because it's a biohazard. But what thought process goes through somebody's mind to make it okay to stick fake eyelashes on the inside of somebody's car? On a luxury vehicle, no doubt. I mean, no less. Now, the material that these door posts are made of, these roof posts are made of, is you can clean them off. So as long as some adhesive isn't on there longer than, a couple of minutes, you can get it back off again. But who does that? That's gross. I was thinking, what does the inside of this woman's house look like? It probably looks like one of those TV shows where they find hoarders and the stuff is just everywhere. That's probably what the inside of her house looks like. God. Anyway, I just thought that was amusing. It's one of those stories that just pops into your head. You remember what somebody did. I've got more. I'll post them. I'll tell you the whole stories of things that people told me or the things that happened. But that was just one of those that's just, why? If you've had something like that happen to you in the past, let me know in the comments. And please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. It'll help me keep bringing you new content, so I appreciate it. Thanks.